the great conservative government, and they will change it and mess it up.
Yeah,
Don't
they
let it
will.
happen.
They will.
They can just start shooting. And by the way, what is the worst that can happen to you? I mean, honestly, this is Texas, right? You'll
Shoot 'em
stand
on
in front of a
sight.
Texas judge. He'll say, "Did you shoot up that car full of Californians?" You'll say yes. He'll say, "Why?" You'll say, "Well, Your Honor, they needed killing." And he'll say, "Okay, we'll strike a medal in your honor," and off you go. Now, the reason I give you Texans this advice is because there's going to be a time, very likely, when I'm going to be one of those people. When the financial collapse happens or the zombie apocalypse comes, there's going to be a long line of starving and miserable and hopeless California refugees who don't even know how to put gas in their own car. And I know many of you kind-hearted Texans will walk up to some of those starving California families, and maybe you'll offer a crust of bread to some of those hopeless-looking Californian children, and the California parents will say, "Thank you, but this crust of bread that you're offering, is it gluten-free? Because, you know, Mia have an intolerance, and they're indigo aura children, and they don't really react well to the gluten." And I'll be 500 yards off to the side with a long-handle spade and my AR-15, and I'm going to say, "Texans, I can shoot and I can shovel. Please let me in. I promise I'll do more good than harm."
There you go.
That's great.
So, the question for our age today, of course, is looking out at the wreckage of what's happening politically to this country. I think the big question we have to ask ourselves is the Obama administration, him personally and their policies, are they unimaginably evil and doing this on purpose?
Yes.
Or, on the other hand, are they simply unimaginably stupid and utterly incompetent?
Both.
I've given this a lot of thought,
Both.
and I believe that the answer is yes.
Yes.
Both.
Their policies don't work. And the one thing that we're starting to see now as these cancellation notices come in is the recognition that their policies don't work. I'm not a person who has a philosophy and then starts looking for evidence to support my political position. I look at the evidence and then I build a political position. And there are many, many ways that you can communicate directly with these progressives and make them understand that some things are not about opinions. Some things are based on facts. Some things are based on common sense. And one of those things is something that Ted Cruz has that I think is very important. I think it certainly colored him, and I know it colored his father, his political opinions. Because here in America, we have an opinion about capitalism, and we have an opinion about socialism. We have opinions. We're like people down in the bilge of a ship. I've got a map and a coastline here, and some other guy's got a different map, he's got a different coastline. But you can go up on deck, and you can look out and get up from the map and look out and see what's actually going on out there. And the problem with progressives is, if a progressive has drawn a map, and he sees this should be a river delta, and instead it's a mountain range, if a progressive has a map that doesn't match the coastline, he's convinced the coastline is wrong.
Yeah.
And that's a fundamental problem. So here are some things that are not opinions. Here are some things that are facts. Excuse me one second, and thank you, Margo Rubio.
Oh, I get it.
Ever since that day, every time I've taken a drink of water, I know I've got nothing to worry about.
Yep.
It's been a great honor for me. I grew up in Miami. I was surrounded by Cuban refugees, and one of the signal honors of my life was that I've been able to go down and visit Guantanamo Bay a couple of times and help cheer up our guys down there. And if you fly to Guantanamo Bay, if you fly to Cuba,